Back at it, Mr. Keeyzo's Corner. Today, I want to tell you about this crazy story that it was kind of surprising to me because I know the dude, but I'm gonna tell you about my $30 million extortion plot against me. Like I said, I'm gonna tell y'all some of it, but I'm not gonna tell y'all all of it because y'all gonna have to tap into the documentary, that's coming out. Working on that, putting that together right now. So make sure you tap in. And I'm gonna give you the keys of the day. That's my jewel that I'm gonna give you from this story. So I'm sitting in the office one day, and this cat that I know comes up to the office. So I'm like, what's good, man? I ain't seen you in a while. I'm happy to see him, and it ain't nothing. He's from around the way I grew up with him and everything. So I ain't really tripping off of, anything. I see him like, hey, what's good? So he has this little, tough guy look on his face. So I'm looking at him like, yo, what's up? So I kind of sense something's going on. So I said, yo, come into the office and into the showroom and holler at me. What's good? So we go in the room, and he's sitting down, and he says, yo, niggas in the hood gotta eat. What? Wait, what are you talking about? Yo, niggas in the hood is starving, man. Niggas in the hood gotta eat. What are you talking about, bro? Like, okay, but, he was like, yo, I heard you had this plot to, to kill this dude or whatever, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Because I have no idea what he's talking about. So he says, yeah, I was talking to your man, and he was running his mouth, and I recorded him as he was telling me this plot that y'all had to kill this dude. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, man? I'm not trying to kill nobody. I'm good, man. I'm in a good place. I'm in a good space. I ain't trying to kill nobody. What are you talking about? So now I'm getting a little alarmed because he's just rambling. And I'm like, yo, bro, man, what's going on? So he plays me this tape of my man talking about, my man, he sometimes, he get a little sippy sip and he take too many sips, so he get a little, saucy. So, and my man is like, that's like my right hand man. Like, if anybody ever want to do something to me, I know my man would go all out. But obviously he caught this dude on a bad day or a bad night, I don't know what it was, and they was having conversations. It seemed like he was baiting him into telling him what was going on. So I'm listening to the tape, and I'm like, bro, I have nothing to do with that. I've never told anything, because my man on the tape was like, yo, anybody ever do anything to my man? Yo, So I'm like, okay, that's him talking, but I'm not on the tape. I'm not saying anything. He'd be like, yeah, but you knew it. You was conspiring and this. So I'm like, yo, man, are you serious? He said, yeah. And then, I want $30 million or, I'm going to put this tape out. So I'm like, man. And then at this point, my little anger kicked in, and I was like, yo, man, you get the F out of my office, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, bro. Like, you come up here with this bullshit. Like, get out of here. So I kicked him out. So one of my boys, security Grim see me, and I'm telling him what's going on. So he's like, yo, we don't play that up here, man. Why didn't you tell me, man? I would have threw him out the window. I was like, nah, no need, Plus I know the guy, so, I'm not even taking it serious. So next thing you know, he's calling the office every day, stressing me out. I'm getting upset. Grim is seeing me upset, and he's like, yo, don't worry, I'm gonna handle it. So he started, gathering his information and doing his due diligence on the dude and getting what he needed to get from him. on him rather. And, I'm still going back and forth, doing my thing. Next thing you know, this dude keeps calling. So I stopped answering the phone, and I told Grim, yo, handle that, Grim. You know what I'm saying? So Grim was handling and fielding off the calls, and, I kind of, blocked it out of my mind. So one day, I get a call from my daughter's mother, and she's like, yo, this dude named so-and-so? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, he just knocked on the door today and said that he knew you and whatever. And I'm like, knocked on your door? What do you mean? He said, yeah, he just came and knocked on the door and was telling me about you and saying how he knew you and this, that, and the other. And y'all had business together. And, so I'm like, okay, this is getting a little stalkish.
How may I help you?
I don't need any help, thank you. This is getting a little stalkish, right? So I said, yo, you know what? If this dude has the balls to go to my daughter's mother's house when my daughter is there, this is getting a little serious, So I told Grim, I said, yo, this dude gonna make me hurt him, man. Like, I don't wanna revert back to the old me. I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna hurt this dude, but I will. You know what I'm saying? So I think I got a call later on that day, and he's like, yo, check this out. I know where your daughter live. I know where your daughter mother live. If I don't get this bread by the end of I think it was April 1st or something. April Fool's Day was the day he picked too. You know what I mean? But he was like, if I don't get this bread by April 1st, you're gonna have problems, your daughter gonna have problems, I'm gonna cause problems for you. So now, I kind of blow my top, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, he threatening my family, you know what I mean? And I'm not having that. So I go home, get that thing, and I drive over to where he at, and I'm sitting there, and I'm totally out of character. Like, at this point, nobody has ever made me get to this point, and I'm like, I'm about to lose everything I work for from this kid messing with me, you know what I'm saying, and messing with my family. And I sat there in front of the crib for about maybe an hour. I ain't see nobody. So it was a liquor store in the corner, around the corner somewhere. I went and got I think a fifth of Hennessy at the time I was drinking, and I sat there and I drank damn near the whole bottle. And I was just waiting, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I was so angry that I was about to ruin everything that I ever worked for and my life, basically, because I know I was gonna go to jail after this. So I'm sitting there for a minute, and then something in me was just like, bro, you got so much to live for. You're getting so much money right now. Like, man, get out of here. Like, it's just, I don't know if it was God. I don't know who it was. It was just like, get out of here. And I was like, wow. Man, let me pull off. And I pulled off. I had to navigate at the time. I pulled off of my Navi. And, I went to the office the next day. And first thing that Grim says, he says, yo, what did you do last night? Because he knew I left that night, and I was mad. And I told him what I did and what I was going to do. I was thinking about doing. And he was like, okay, all right, cool. Don't you worry about it. I handle it. I'm going to handle it. I got this shit covered. Don't worry about it. So I let him handle it. And he came to a point where he stressed him out. And dude kind of just, kind of backed off a little bit. April 1st came around. Nothing came out. I wasn't really worrying about anything coming out either, because I didn't do anything. So I wasn't plotting against anybody. So I don't know what the hell he thought, So I took it as a joke, but obviously he was serious. So there was a little other situation attached to that. I called my man, Black Chaz. He's an OG out here in Queens, and I called him, and I was like, yo, I got this situation, bro. That my man came up, well, he wasn't my man, but this kid came up here with, and I need you to figure out what's going on, because I just came too far to go back. So Chaz was like, yo, give me a couple of hours. Chaz made a phone call, I guess. So I don't know what he did, but he called me back maybe 30 minutes later. and was like, yo, shit is handled, bro. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You good. So, you know, I've always had people like that in my life, like OGs and cats that you wouldn't even know, or, you know, that's real in these streets, that always watched over me, that always kind of, you know, made sure that I got through and was able to, you know, further myself in whatever I was doing. But, you know, my keys of the day for this story is choices. It's all about the choices you make. You know, I read this in a book years ago. It said that, you know, the choices that you make determine the outcome of your life. And I see so many people make the wrong choices based on whatever impulses or whatever. And I always try to tell them, think it through and make the right choice, because you can go left with it or you could go right with it. You know what I'm saying? So I always, you know, I always tell people, like, listen, it's all about the choices that you make. And, you know, as I've grown and as I've gotten to my older years, I've always tried to make the right choices. I think I've grown tremendously in the last 10 years. Because I was a wild boy back then, man. I didn't really give a fuck about anything, and my trigger to set me off was so quick. And now I think things through. You know, I make the best choices, because, you know, in this life, man, you only get one, and you got a certain amount of time. So it's all about making choices, baby. Keys of the day. All right, make the right choice, and it will give you the best outcome for your life. All right, don't forget, download that FUBU radio app. It's free. We hot on there. We got some things. We talking about. You know, got some music. The music is hot. You know, support us, please. Appreciate you. All right, peace.